Thank you, President. My question is for the Premier and is on behalf of my colleague Mr Grimley, who couldn't be here this week due to illness. The Royal Commission into Institutional Child Sexual Abuse documented hundreds of such cases which occurred in Victorian government institutions. The Victorian government has not, however, made a formal apology to these victims. I've sought confirmation of this from ministerial officers and have had this fact confirmed. Then Prime Minister Scott Morrison apologised in 2018 following the Royal Commission, with Northern Territory and New South Wales apologising on the same day. Western Australia apologised in the lead up to the national apology, with South Australia making theirs in 2008. Tasmania are progressing significant work in this space with respect to its Department of Education and will make a specific apology soon. You might think the Royal Commission has been and gone. Many victims aren't here to receive the apology, but their families definitely are. Premier, will you apologise to victims of child sexual abuse who are abused in government institutions, including but not limited to schools, detention, health facilities and out-of-home care?
Leader of the Government.
Thank you, President. I thank Ms Maxwell for her question to the Premier on behalf of her colleague, Mr Grimley. And as you have identified, the Commonwealth Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Sexual Abuse exposed horrific instances of abuse against children in those facilities, and that did not exclude Victorian government settings. In relation to apologies, there was an apology from the former Premier Steve Bracks in 2006 for victims in out-of-home care. In terms of the specific request that you've made, I'll forward to the Premier to get some further advice, but I probably would note also the recent apology from our government via the Premier in relation to the victims of Puffing Billy and related railway facilities. There's also a lot of work underway to implement recommendations from both the Commonwealth Royal Commission and also the Betrayal of Trust report, which obviously underpin a lot of government policy, particularly in education settings, to ensure that we have the best policy settings to ensure that children are as safe as possible, and that those awful practices that were exposed, particularly in past settings, are eradicated in any future settings.
Thank you.